Hello everyone. I am pleased to finally unveil a project I have been wanting to do for months. Please bear with me, as I am trying something new, so the quality may not be the best to begin with. This video is going to lean more on the infographic side, but as we go along I will detail more of the journey. This video marks the beginning of my 0 to hero run of Warhammer 40k Tacticus. As per usual, with a 0 to hero rule set, I will be starting with a fresh account and will only be considered hero once I have built up one of the 3 guild raid meta teams to Diamond 1. As not to give an unfair advantage, in-game purchases made with real money is not allowed. All resources must be fairly earned. Like any game, Tacticus can be broken up into multiple phases. We will be starting, as any place should start, at the tutorial, which for the purposes of this video will not be considered finished until Indomitus 30 has been cleared. We start at levels 1 through 5 of the Indomitus campaign, which serve as some of the most basic tutorial levels. We are quickly introduced to our main 3 characters of this campaign, Varotagaris, Eliminator Sergeant Certus, and Inceptor Sergeant Bellator. Of the 3, Bellator is by far the most valuable, and even has place in some of the basic versions of the multi-hit guild raid team. We will detour for a moment to talk about character progression. As you play, you will gain upgrade components, badges used to level up abilities, XP and XP books to increase your character's level, and character shards used to ascend a character's rarity. Progression is split into 2 main categories, rank and rarity. Note this video was made before the Relics update. For simplicity, I'm going to talk in terms of the old system. When you unlock a character, their starting rank is Stone 1. To advance through each rank, you will need to acquire and or craft 6 upgrades, have your character at the appropriate rarity, and the correct XP level. Each rank tier has 3 levels, and the current max rank is Diamond 3. Rarity is broken into 2 parts, the amount of stars a character has, and their current rarity cap. When you have enough character shards, you can ascend your character, giving them another star. If the character has enough stars and you have collected enough of their shards, plus the appropriate ascension orbs, you can ascend them to the next rarity cap. Rarity maxes out at Legendary with a blue winged star. As we progress through the campaign, more mechanics are introduced. Some notable mechanics are critical hits, armor, and pierce ratios. As we continue to advance through levels, we eventually run into our first boss battle. Boss battles occur at the end of each part of a campaign and see us facing a faction character and auxiliary units. Royal Warden Makotip is our first boss. He is a ranged unit and serves well as a first boss due to his simplicity. His active ability allows him to force a movement on non-character units adjacent to him. If this movement allows the unit to get into combat range, they engage a target dealing damage according to the level of Makotip's active ability. His passive ability allows any unit that starts their turn next to him to move for 1 extra hex and heals mechanical units based on the level of the passive. As stated before, Makotip's boss fight is rather basic and simple. He often uses his active ability rather quickly and doesn't really pose much of a threat. He also doesn't really try to set up around his units, so most will die before he gets a chance to heal them or give them a movement speed buff. We will quickly detour once again to go over the biggest part of progression, Requisitions. Requisitions are the main way of acquiring new characters. The requisition pulls shown in this video are scripted by Snowprint to ensure all players will start on a level playing field. With these requisitions, we quickly unlock Vindicta, Malodus, and Calandus. When doing requisitions, it is often best to save up 10 scrolls to guarantee a character drop. Speeding us along, levels 16 through 29 are rather basic. They don't really add much more to the game mechanically, but the only notable addition they bring being the Lightning Victory condition, introduced in level 19. If the level is beat in a specified amount of turns, you gain double the coins. Hexmark Destroyer Immospec is our next boss. He is another ranged unit. He excels at situations that see enemies charging towards him and is best set up at choke points due to his passive ability and Overwatch trait. His active ability sees him firing a heavy-hitting barrage that starts with 6 hits and does not stop firing until all hits are used or all targets in his range are dead. His passive allows his Overwatch trait to remain active if the target that enters his range is defeated, albeit with 1 less hit for each target defeated this way. Generally, the Immuspec fight isn't that difficult. With good positioning of Certus, he can be quickly neutralized. Being honest, you have to quite purposely attempt to lose a unit for Immuspec to cause a casualty. This leaves only the auxiliary units, who we easily clean up in no time. With the defeat of Immuspec, we have finished Indomitus 30 in the tutorial. I want to use the remainder of this video to go over some of Tacticus' mechanics and to better explain the overall game. Warhammer 40k Tacticus is a mobile strategy game set in the Warhammer universe. The game allows you to control over 90 plus characters from some of your favorite factions, from the Ultramarines to the Emperor's Children. Tacticus offers a variety of options from single-player campaigns to team-based boss fights. Tacticus isn't only defined by its campaigns. It also has several different game modes to give players more ways to play the game. Each mode gives a unique way to play the game and earn rewards. The main alternative modes are Arena, Onslaught, Salvage Run, and most important to this challenge, Guild Raids. I will eventually get around to talking about them all, but for this video, we will showcase Guild Raids. Guild Raids serve as Tacticus' main team-based game mode. In Guild Raids, your guild must work together to defeat each boss. Each boss must be fought and approached uniquely. The strategy and team that works effectively against one will not typically pan out the same against another. As of writing, there are 11 unique bosses, all with unique abilities special to them, with each ability giving respect to the boss's lore. The power of the boss depends on their rarity, the remaining health of their primes, aka side bosses, and their position in the Guild Raid Tower. Guilds are a staple of this game. Players gather together to compete against other guilds to carve their names at the top of the leaderboards. Your guild works together to build each other up, guide each other through their ranks, and complete missions together. I want to take a moment to shout out my battle brothers from my home guild, Pants of Horror's Death Watch, who without, I would not have been able to make this video. Tacticus uses a hex-based system to allow unit movement. Units navigate each map based on their movement stat and the map's terrain features. The higher their movement stat, the more they can move before having to stop. Movement can be impeded by obstacles such as barbed wire, which is pictured on the right. Speaking of characters, characters are the units that you directly control and wield a massive amount of power on the battlefield. Each character belongs to a faction and group, like Maladus, who is pictured. His faction is the Death Guard, and his group is Chaos. All units in Tacticus have a melee attack, and some have a ranged attack. The stats of each unit depends on their rarity and rank, or if they are summoned, the level of the ability that summoned them. Damage dealt depends on many things, but namely the unit's base damage, pierce ratio, which depends on the type of damage that unit does, the number of hits their attack has, and the armor stat of the enemy. This is in no way a comprehensive list of all factors that affect damage dealt, but generally these are good statistics to keep an eye on. When it comes to any character, remember to play them to their strengths, and try to keep in mind their weak points as not to lose them early in a battle. Abilities have the power to change the battlefield and how you fight drastically. Each ability serves a unique purpose. Active abilities, like Karn's Kill, Maim, Burn, serve to deal heavy damage to the enemy. Passive abilities, like Eldraon's Doom, serve to buff any damage dealt by normal attacks against affected enemies. These abilities can give us some insight of what to expect from abilities, but there is a drastic range of what each ability can and cannot do. Finally, traits can help define what a character is and what they are good at. Overwatch units typically excel in ranged combat and letting the enemy come to you. Faction traits help to define a faction. traits like Healer or Mechanic allow units to be healed when damage is inevitably done to them.